Hi everyone. Welcome to my page where we talk about how to life after awakening, and I do my light language transmissions and activations. One of the things that I clearly remember about in the beginning stages of my awakening was, you kind of know things and believe things that people would call conspiracy theories, and you are known as a conspiracy theorist. Back in the time, when many years ago, probably around 20 years ago already, when the arrivals came out, funnily enough, I actually never watched the arrivals, yet when it came out and people were talking about it, I had my download of remembering things, and I just instinctively knew what was true about it or what it was even about. So I already got that kind of awakening there. But something about it also made me not even want to watch it, because somehow I knew everything isn't really true. It's like they leave out information there. And if I fast forward to many, many years later, like in 2019, when I had my Kundalini awakening, I actually then got the information and the knowledge that even that arrivals program that came out and all the information that was shared there to bring it to light was actually done by themselves, by the so-called Illuminati themselves. And it was so that they can have control over the narrative, and also instill fear at the same time, because a lot of what it does when you read about these things is it gives you this overwhelming feeling of, how do I fit into this? Like, how do I even change this? Can I even get out of this? How do I stop this from happening? They make it seem that big and make you feel very small while giving you the truth of what is happening. That is also why they do not mind the certain truths coming out about the files that is coming out now, is because they kind of hold the narrative, and they also are very, very confident in their years, their millennia of brainwashing and programming people to feel as though there's nothing they can do, they are trapped in this situation. And I mean, the main goal was obviously to keep people in a lower vibration and in a vibration where they do not know their power and their sovereignty. But going back to the beginning stages of an awakening, it normally is with coming to the knowledge of what's really happening out there within the system and how you've been programmed, brainwashed. And the same with the food industry, you start figuring out how they've been trying to poison you through food, through big pharma. You find out that everything is a lie, and that is just the start. And as you evolve and grow and go through your ascension, as what most of you probably have been on, we have come to understand what a small role that actually plays, because once you come into that alignment with your higher self and with God, and you understand what energy is and how it works, you're no longer afraid of those kinds of things. It doesn't affect you the same way. But you need to understand, though, that a big majority of people at this moment is going to start going through their beginning of awakening. With the information that is coming out now, it is causing a mass awakening across the world. And that is what part of the reason why I haven't posted in a while. And I mean, part of the reason is, yes, I need to wait for divine guidance, and I am posting only as Spirit lets me know, okay, now you do this and you do that, But also I am myself in preparing for what is coming, because what is coming is it's going to be massive, and it's going to be a beautiful shift, and it's only beautiful when you are in the right space. But it's going to seem very disruptive or crazy or wild. But just the knowing of what it means, like it means that Earth is shifting to new Earth, and we are seeing the split happening, and we are seeing the matrix crumble. There is a destructive, it's destructive, it's self-destructing, and so that is what the files coming out is bringing to us, and all this information. Back in last year, September 2025, a client I saw, I do energy healing. So a client that I was attending to kind of brought to light a situation where I got the knowledge of normal people like you and I, who can also come into the situation that we see has been brought to the light within the media and celebrities. We, back when it was Arrival's time came out and everybody knew, and we were called conspiracy theories, and there was already talk about celebrities being cloned and everything, and it's not really cloning. They are not being cloned. Cloning, you have to be as a baby. But so what they would say, let's say body double or replacements, I got knowledge of, I came into being with an actual person who has been through something like that. And it is paramount to this because I then in December got a download via my own spirit team. They kind of tied things together, and I got the understanding of what it was and what's happened. And I also then got a message early December that some big thing was going to happen. It would cause mass awakenings, and somehow, like, my questioning to spirit as I was talking and getting this downloads was like, would it be like, it was like a piercing of the veil, and so I kind of took it as a glitch in the matrix. And I didn't expect it to be the information of the Epstein files, but I kind of thought of it as a different kind of glitch in the matrix, like you always see people sharing online and things, and it is a piercing of the veil. It is illusions that are breaking. So in essence, yes, it is kind of like a glitch in the matrix where all of a sudden truth is being shown to the world and you get to choose. The thing that people need to understand is, one of the things is that they have to let you know it is part of universal law that they share the truth with you. That is why it's always been in movies. They've been telling you in movies. They've been subtly telling you, like they're not outright saying, but they're not hiding it either. And there's two main reasons why they have to do that. Is because you are all sovereign beings. You don't seem to know this. They know this. And that you need to accept and you need to agree, because you made a soul plan and you decide and you create what's happening on earth. And by them telling you, look here, we're doing A, B, and C, you get to decide if that's going to be part of your reality or not, and if you're accepting it or not. And the fact that we do nothing about it, even when they tell us the truth, is they take it as you accepting it. You have to accept, you see. It's the same like the story of, if a vampire comes to your house, you have to invite him in. He can't come in if you don't invite him in. Also, if you've ever seen exorcisms on TV, you would always see that they would ask the demon its name 3 times. He can't lie 3 times. So that's the other thing. They can't really lie. Love and truth is something you can't change. It doesn't matter where you lie on the spectrum of good or bad, and evil or whatever. So you can't lie, so they will try and lie or fake or trick you, but on the third one they have to tell you the truth, because in essence they have to be truthful and you have to accept. So they tell you the truth in a way that you don't really, you accepting it without knowing you are accepting that as truth. So the other thing is, yes, there's a lot of crazy truths coming to light, and it's dark. I won't deny that. But when you come into your full knowledge and your full higher self, and if you embody that, it is not that scary, because your understanding changes, your perspective changes. There's a perspective shift that needs to happen, and it's going to be harder because it is a mind shift. The mind shift needs to take place first, and then you are able to understand how and why. I would say, and a lot of people would say, it is not that scary, and it is not something for you to panic about. But it's important, though, to understand that for many of us who are already on the ascension stage, who has gone through the different stages of ascension, for us it's easy to say that and to understand that, but there are people that's just waking up, and that is what I'm busy preparing for now. Is part of my mission as my why I am on earth at this moment in time, is to help with this transition, the actual shifting of mass awakening onto the new earth. And so we need to understand that it's not really harder, but it's going to be faster, which some people would see as easier. So it's like the trickier the whatever's causing your awakening is, the faster you go through ascension, because we kind of need that plurality, which brings us back to why we can, at the end of the day, one day you'll be able to look at it as not that big of a deal, when you realize that polarity exists only for you to awaken to who you are, to your light, to you being with God consciousness, and to be in alignment with God. And it's happening for your greatest good, and no matter how bad or what they are doing, use it to anchor you and to push you into your ascension and your awakening. And so we are witnessing the fall of the matrix. We are witnessing physical evidence of the shift, and part of what it is that we need to take the bad energy that is coming out of it and transmuting it, is to let it just anchor you. Let it anchor you to decide, okay, the system needs to go. And so people still need to vote, or think they need to vote, and people are still living within the system and are thinking, how do I make it out of this? Which is part of leaving the matrix behind, is leaving the old systems behind, is realizing that everybody, it doesn't matter who you vote for, everybody in those circles, in the so-called elite, are part of everything, and they are part of the system. Big pharma, the food industry, you paying your taxes, everything is you agreeing to the system and to allowing them to get away with doing it, and you still falling in line. You see, you were programmed that way to fall in line, and that you don't know the power you hold, that you are actually able to stop doing everything you were programmed to believe you must do in this world, and you can change it. But what you're going to need is full trust and confidence that you can do that. And that only comes with aligning yourself with your higher self, aligning yourself with God consciousness, Christ consciousness, and to understand that your spiritual awakening brings you to the place where it is easy to walk away. So, and together with awakening comes your trauma that you need to work through, and your shadow work and your healing, and all of that needs to take place at the same time as you're stepping away from the matrix. So it is a lot of work, and it is easier in a sense for those who have been on ascension for a while. So stepping away from the system might be easier for them, but to do it as you are awakening, as you're coming to this knowing, it's a lot of different things. So that is what I am preparing for, and what we need to take into consideration when we see the information being spreading and things like that. And we need to understand that the whole world obviously couldn't be in shambles about it at the same time. So that is why there's been groups of people awakening, and then again and again, for years, for decades, for centuries, people have been awakening in groups so that the earth can handle, the energies can handle. And that is also why so much people can shift now at one time, is because, and shift faster, is because earth is now conducive for it. It's time for it. We have been able to raise the vibration on earth for a long while, and there's enough people who are going to not be freaking out, because they've stabilized the energy already, they have centered already, they have grounded already. So we need those people to be on the forefront, helping everyone else who is awakening for the first time. And I guess this video was just to let you know why I'm not making any videos at the moment, and just to give some little feedback on what the world is experiencing at this time. The cloning things has been coming up a lot recently, very recently, and that is one of the biggest things that I've gotten a download on about. I can't share yet what it really is, and because it is, they already shadow banned me on my previous video, because you can talk about these things online, and when you are just speculating things, they don't mind the conspiracy theories. They like the distraction it gives to people. But the moment you touch on something that will actually matter in this sense, like someone teaching you about your vibration that needs to shift, and how to get back with them, how to respond, there's certain words I can't use there. That is when they start to watch out, you know. They also make people disappear who really speaks the truth, and you know that. So I need to be careful with when I share what I share, and that is also why I needed to be quiet for a while. But I'm hoping to see you all as this goes down. As we see, it's interesting to see how things have been unfolding, and how what I have received from Spirit is coming to light in the actual world right now. And please leave a comment to let me know what you think about all of this. And yeah, subscribe if you want to be a part of this journey. I also do a lot of activations that I will get back into as well. So yeah, be sure to share this with people, so that the more people can understand what is really happening, because it is not just about the evils of the world and about the Illuminati and all of that. It is actually more about you and your ascension and you awakening. And a lot of people who are starting to find out about what's happening, they really not all on par with this spiritual world, because they have been brainwashed also to believe that it's evil, and that is the, you know, it's witchcraft, or it's evil and things. And Yeah, so that is only what they taught people to believe because they didn't want you to access your power. And so that is another story. And so there's a lot of new information coming out for the masses. And all of us who have been through it already, we need to try and be anchors for everyone else and understand, hold the energy, ground the energy. If you see the world is going crazy, transmute that energy for them and ground it. Thank you. Let's see how all of this unfolds. Bye for now.